morning, and welcome to Winnipeg. Okay, we are going to spray today. Yep. 13.3 Celsius. And I just checked the weather about an hour ago on the internet, and we are supposed to have a week of beautiful weather. Yeah, it's the kind of stuff I was dreaming about, I guess 2 months ago when there was just a sea of white outside my windows. Okay, well, I'm hoping that Max is feeling better today, and he's going to be able to come in, and we'll get back to our usual Missy the dog segment. I did see him go out early this morning. I've been up for a while. And he went out at about 5 minutes after 6 this morning, and he drove over to Timmy's and got himself a coffee. Yeah, he was up early. So I know he's still breathing. He must be feeling pretty good if he got up that early. Either that or he couldn't sleep. I've had days like that too. It seems to me one morning I was up about 3:30 in the morning, and I think I was here at the model table if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, yeah. Okay. We are ready to get going here. It seems to me I've got to find some parts here that I was going to get in step 16. Yeah, the A3, the S5. But as I said, there's no end to that. But I think I may as well be, being as I'm going to be spraying the 82 today. Okay. Now, it seems to me that yesterday I had said that today I would tell you what the doctor had to say. Okay, so here's what happened. First of all, when I went in, you know how it is when you go into these huge cancer clinics. You see a lot of different people. First of all, I saw a nurse who takes all the information about you, your family history, and all the rest of it, and make sure that they got all their information correct, and then in comes the real doctor. Okay, so I asked the real doctor, do you mind if I record our consultation? And it was and Dr. Lee is a lady doctor, so that's why I'm going to be saying she. And she said no. Something about we prefer not. I think she used the word we. Okay, so that was the end of that. So now in the other cancer doctor that I saw a couple of years ago about the prostate cancer, he said yes, that's okay, and I recorded the whole conversation. I've got it on the computer. I can play it back and get exactly what he said. But Dr. Lee said no. So consequently, all I've got is what she's written down here. Okay, so bottom line is I have stage 3 cancer, 3 of 4. That's not good, but it's not as bad as it could be. Okay, so she was giving me the different options for chemotherapy. And I said, well, what do you recommend in my situation? And she was non-committal as to what she would recommend, because I was borderline. Should we or shouldn't we? And the idea is if I don't do the chemo, the chances of the cancer reoccurring over the next 3 to 5 years is approximately 25%. If I have the chemo, it only reduces it to, I think she said, she used the word 10%. But did she mean it would be reduced by 10%? Or, in other words, the chemo is no guarantee. And like I said, I asked, what do you recommend? And it was sort of, well, it's sort of a, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, or maybe that's not quite the way I put it. So I thought that because we discussed, well, because I'm 78 years old, because I've already got prostate cancer, because there's a possibility that I've got a heart problem. I mean, I can't believe this. You know, is this me? Because I'm sitting here and I'm feeling great. I'm even feeling cheerful. I don't know why. I shouldn't be, but I'm feeling pretty buoyant. Um, anyway, it probably wouldn't matter if we just let it go. And what she suggested is that they monitor it with colonoscopies and CT scans periodically as time progressed. And she says if the cancer does come back, it's not like it's not treatable. So when I made the decision, okay, we will not do the chemo thing. She seemed she didn't indicate like, oh, that's not a good idea or anything like that. It was just sort of, yeah, hey, in your situation, yeah. Anyway, let's not talk about that anymore. So I told you I'd tell you. I don't think there's anything else that I can relay to you, because I know there were people interested. I do realize that I have become a cyber friend to many people, at least to some people that are watching. I've become sort of a cyber friend, and I kind of know how that goes, because I used to watch a person. He had no idea that I existed, but I sort of felt he was my friend. So yeah, there's people that care, and also there's people that do not like me, and they come right out and they tell me. Maybe not exactly in those words, but anyway, yeah, that's like, I was going to make a sign and stick it in the back of my spray booth here, and it was going to say something to the effect of nothing lasts forever, so enjoy what is good while you can. But I thought, no, that's just too you know. Anyway, let's find our parts here that we're going to spray, recompose, and spray these. We got almost 2 hours before Missy's going to come by, unless she's by early today. That was kind of nice to go outside yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah, it's a nice change. At least I enjoyed it. Okay. Let's get at it and have a good time. Okay, I've got our pieces here for step 16. It's only 3. And at first I was thinking that what I could do is I could paint them separately, and then I was noticing, well, there's got to be railing put on this piece right here. It looks like there has to be railing put on okay, this is going to be the outside. It looks like there's a rail goes along this edge right here. Okay. However, I was thinking if I spray them separately, then I've got to glue them together after, I'm gluing painted surface to painted surface. And so I'm thinking that possibly, okay, let's just get that in there. That fits really nice. Okay, I shouldn't have too much trouble painting in there. Yeah, that should spray pretty good. It is. I find it's difficult to spray into a corner, like down in here. Yeah, the spray kind of it sometimes it'll keep going and go right into the corner, and sometimes it sort of eddies around from the wind from the spray. Maybe if I reduce the pressure, it might work a little better. I've been spraying at low pressure now anyway, usually around 10 pounds or sometimes less. The thinner the paint, the lower the pressure. At least that's the way it works with my airbrush. So, yeah, I'm just sort of thinking out loud here what to do here before I proceed. Should I glue these pieces together now, or should I, glue them, spray them and glue them later? Something like this is somewhat easier to spray. Okay, we've beat this to death. Let's do something here. Okay, as you can see here, I have opted to glue the pieces together. This step here, this piece here from step 15, made up of 3 separate pieces. There are now 1. And this long piece from step 16, it's also made up of 3 separate pieces. I think I should be able to spray that okay. And they are going to be sprayed the number 82, all being well. Okay, let that dry. Okay, I'm guessing about half an hour has passed here now since I shot the last scene. And I think we're probably safe to remove these clamps here now. I'll give it a little bit more time. Now, I'm guessing 5 minutes ago, I noticed that Max was going down the road with Missy. Oh, I noticed that Phyllis is in the front yard plucking dandelions. Yeah, you can just see her there in the monitor. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Thank you, Phyllis. She can't hear me. Okay, let's get ourselves reorganized here and ready for you-know-who. Now, once again, our Missy the Dog segment is going to be considerably different. I had not noticed that it was Lorraine who had taken Missy out, not Max. Max is still sick. Well, maybe tomorrow will be normal. We'll see what happens. Hi, Lorraine. Okay, Missy, you gonna come say goodbye? Eh? You gonna come say goodbye? There you go. Yeah.
So you thank you before you, it's not right.
Yeah. Okay, well that was different, wasn't it? I didn't notice that it was Lorraine took Missy out. Missy the dog. Missy the dog. Okay. Now I did not notice it was Lorraine took Missy out for a walk. So yeah, I guess Max is still under the weather. I'll wish him well, of course. Alrighty. And we get ourselves reset up here to spray. Yeah. Alright. Feeling kind of discombobulated, or however you say it, this morning. Yeah. When something different happens, it sort of throws you for a loop, doesn't it? Okay. Let's see if we can get our system going here and do a little bit of spraying with our number 82. Okay, I did stir this up a little while ago. Now we're not going to do our usual zooming in and do the close-up of the filter. We're just going to try and quickly get this done here. I want to try and get out on my bike yet this afternoon. One of the viewers was noticing that we went past a bakery. I can't remember the name of it now. It's under a new name, but it was on Edison Street. Years ago, that was called the Bake Oven. And I think I was first in it around 1973 with my dear wife. And yeah, it was a Dutch place. It might still be a Dutch place, I'm not sure. My wife was Dutch. She was actually born in Holland. Came across here to Canada when she was 5. Couldn't speak a word of English. But they learned. Anyway, giving you a bunch of little trivia you don't need to know. I was thinking maybe I would go out there. I'm not sure who it was who was interested. It was one of the viewers. I think it possibly could have been Graham. So Graham, if you're listening, we might be going to what I call the Bake Oven. Like I said, I can't remember the new name of it. Okay, I'm pretty sure we're ready to go here. I have my compressor set for 10 pounds, my regulator. And we're going to try and keep everything underneath this little thingy here. And we'll just sort of move over a little bit here. And we shall zoom in. And yeah, hopefully you're going to be able to see that okay. And I think we're ready to boogie here. Let's get our fan going. Now, maybe we're not ready. How am I going to hold this here? I was thinking I'd hold it like this because I'm going to be painting the back white later. That's going to be the inside. Now let's see what happens. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is, because I found this piece rather hard to hold on to, I'm going to mount this other piece here on something that I can hang on to from the back. Yeah, and then we'll continue on. Okay, now as far as I know, this is the inside. What I'm touching right now is the inside. And we are going to be painting that white. This is the outside. I think I basically got it covered here. I'm not seeing anything. Oh, maybe this corner here. Just a little touch there. Yeah, I think we basically got everything here. I'm just going to clean up the airbrush now and get back to you after that's done. Okay. We are basically cleaned up here. Basically. Now this needle doesn't want to go, don't force it. It means that you don't have it lined up. There we go. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on the end here and draw it back in. That might be a little bit too much. Draw it back in and lubricate the packing seal. That's the way I do it. I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it works, just that's the way I do it. And because I am trying to do this on camera, I'm going to be doing everything very awkwardly, you can be assured. Okay. Now, I used to just do this one finger tight, but I found that it would leak around the nozzle if I didn't just slightly tighten it, just slightly. Once again, that's the way I do it. It doesn't necessarily mean that it actually changes anything, it's just that's the way I do it. As soon as I get the needle to the end, then I stop. Don't push it any further. Okay. Jason Port at Model Kit Stuff. I think he's got a 6, 7, 8 part series now. I can't remember how many parts there is on airbrushing. And I would highly recommend, if you're interested in getting into airbrushing, watch what he does, not what I do. Okay, so we're basically ready to go now. I'm going to call it quits for this episode, folks. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.